Welcome to What CEOs Talk About. Do you wonder what CEOs talk about behind closed doors? How they bring their vision to reality? How do they overcome and succeed through adversity? We share that and so much more with each episode. Now, let's get started with the show.
Hello, this is Martin Hunter, your host of the What CEOs Talk About show, where we talk about translating strategy into frontline operations. Past guests include Dominic Rubino. Ryan and I know Dominic from the gym, from Profit Toolbelt, Jeremy Wise from Inspired Insider, Mark Raffin from Negotiation Ninja, and Matt Newman from the Explosive Alpha Foods. This episode is brought to you by Urgio. Urgio is Latin for to urge, a strong desire to drive change, stimulate thought, incite feelings, encourage action. Urgio provides fractional COO services to move you through growing pains so that your company can flourish and profit. Ryan, you're a visionary, right?
I'm a visionary.
You've seen a few companies through and through. So how is it important to have an integrator at the mix of this or of any organization?
It's so important. Like for somebody like me that's great at getting things started, if I didn't have an integrator, nothing would ever fall through. Like that's really the long and short of it. I have endless ideas, and I'm really great at taking the first step, and really bad at taking step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
and saying, where is it? Where are we? Where's it going?
Yeah.
So if you're Ryan, you're like Ryan, you're a visionary, and you've got you're a visionary CEO or part of C-suite, or you're part of a VC and one of your companies has a visionary CEO, and you want to have that integrator get that business over the finish line and really monetize that vision, then give a shout to Urgio, urgeo.ca. Email them at info@urgio. Urgio's worked with a multitude of companies in SaaS, CPG, mining, transportation, from startups, mom and pop shops, all the way to large multinational corporations. Ryan is the co-founder of Tru Earth. Long marketing history. In our pre-interview, he said he's not super picky for his intro. So he hasn't been at the gym, just like me, since March, right? So since COVID hit, we've invested in a lot of gym equipment, and he is a subscription-based entrepreneur. Ryan, in the pre-show, Ryan and I had to chat about, what do we want this episode to be? And so we came up with building a company that has impact. Let's talk about Tru Earth. Everybody, thank you very much, Ryan, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure.
Good. So tell me, what does that mean to you, building a company that has impact? Tell us about your journey and what we talked a little bit about before.
Yeah. So, like for somebody who's been in business or in some form of business for a long time, there's a lot of highs and lows, and there's a lot of points where you, or at least for me, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I've been at points where I've been juggling too many balls, or I've just woke up and I'm like tired of dealing with certain balls in the juggling act. And, like just like anybody else, you go through like mental health highs and lows that kind of go in relation with kind of these periods of winning and losing. And in the past, when I've gone through these and I was really overwhelmed or stressed out or not sure where I wanted to go, I find myself getting this sense of like, what am I doing this all for? Like, why am I breaking my back to try to build these businesses that like aren't like having massive impact on the world? And like, a lot of things we have done have had impact on other people's health, like outdoor adventure type activities and stuff like that, and getting people exercising. But like, I feel like when you get to that point, if you don't have a real reason, like for wanting to do what it is that you're building, sometimes it can be hard to get over that hump. And what I found is, before I'd kind of be like, what is this all for? Why am I doing this? And now with like, when we started Tru Earth, a lot of it was like, I have young kids, and I was concerned about what their future was going to be like if something didn't change. And like, there's an abundant amount of plastic that's getting put in landfills every year that can't be recycled, and so on and so forth. And when things get busy and crazy, like they do, like even though we're like having a lot of success right now, there's still days where I'm fried, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what to do. And around Christmas time, I was super burnt out for a little bit. But when I wake up in the morning and I know that what I'm doing is contributing to my kids' future, and not just like financially, but like in a way that like is going to make the future better for them and the future better for their kids. And then even other ways, like how we've been able to donate so much to people who are going through hard times right now. Like when you wake up in the morning and you know that it's more than just about money, it's just a heck of a lot easier to get over those difficult points.
Hey, you've had an impact on my marriage and you don't even know it. Because Tracy, Tracy, my wife, was super happy. She says, look what I got. I was like, what's this? She's like, I got a box of detergent that are tabs that you rip off. There's no plastic. There's no dish. There's nothing. It's like super environmentally friendly. And this, I was like, wow, my wife is happy. I got extra kisses. So Ryan, you've contributed to my marriage. And you thought about kids, but so tell me, what spawned the idea? What did you guys fall into luck? Was it planned? Like, how did you come up with this amazing idea?
Yeah. So, we were in subscription box business before, primarily tied to outdoor adventure and getting people to start getting outdoors and trying new things. And we had an adventure challenge club, which we actually still have. But we were kind of building a reputation for doing well with subscription type products.
Okay.
And Brad, who is the CEO of our company and my partner, he was at a dinner party with his wife's, I guess, stepbrother, and he had invested in this patent. And I guess the conversation had come up at the party, and sorry, my phone is randomly ringing. I apologize.
Sorry.
Sorry. So he's at this dinner party, and he suggested, hey, like, I have this product, or I have access to this product. I think it might be a good fit for what you guys are doing. Maybe you could build something like the Dollar Beard Club. And we kicked the idea around a little bit, but I just thought, like, okay, laundry detergent is going to be impossible to break into, first of all. And then second of all, the price point's so low without like having distributors and retail and all these things. I don't know how we'll ever be able to actually, like, from like a direct response marketing standpoint, like, how do you recover the cost on that? So we kind of kicked it down the curb, and it was still kind of, we resurface it every once in a while, but we never thought that this little strip of laundry detergent would like wash your clothes. I also thought that there's no way that it's going to work.
For those who are listening and not watching, what is it? How big is it? What, 5 centimeters long? What is it?
Yeah, like probably like 2 inches by like 4 inches per strip. And like a millimeter thick.
Yeah,
maybe less. But yeah. So some time went by, and I had 2 kids, and my wife was pregnant with our third, and I was kind of going through some of these mental issues, not like mental illness issues, but like issues, like battles in my head, where it was a new experience for me, that I had never had before because I never had kids, but like worrying about what the future looked like for them.
Yeah.
Like, is there going to be overpopulation? Will there be enough food? Will there be jobs?
Yeah.
Will Skynet robots come and kill us all? Like, what's that going to look like, right? And one morning we were watching YouTube, and my wife was pregnant with my youngest child now. And we were watching YouTube, and they like watching like those unboxing shows.
Yeah.
And there was like, there was like a treasure chest, and it was made of plastic, and it was wrapped in plastic. And they opened it, and like the top layer of toys were like those little surprise toys, like little kid crack toys. And they were all wrapped in plastic in a plastic shell. And then the toy itself was plastic. And then there was another layer. And there's so much plastic, like you could fill the garbage bag with it.
Damn.
And it kind of like hit this like tipping point in my head where I'm like, man, I'm like done. I'm tired of like virtue signaling. Like, even if it's only to myself, like if I'm just, I can't just whine to myself. If I'm getting anxiety about something, it's on me to either like move or walk, go through it, or move on. Right. So
Yeah.
I looked into a bit more about what kind of plastic was getting out into the world. And, you know, of all plastics, it's like there's only like 70% that are recycled in any capacity. And of that, like 10% is actually repurposed and reused for new products. And then 20% is like burned for energy. And I was like, that's a lot of plastic. And it takes like 500 plus years for it to decompose. So anyways, I reached out to Brad again and like, let's get some of those laundry detergent strips sent over and try them out. And like because the numbers that I was seeing is there's about 1 billion jugs of laundry detergent in North America every year that are used by Canadians and Americans. And so that means about 700 million end up in landfills. So anyways, brought the product in, tried it out. We were blown away about like with the efficacy of the product. And like, I kind of had like one of those moments while showering with like the whole, not a dirty moment, but like, I guess technically it's a dirty, I was washing myself. Like, it was like cleaning Inception. But had like this whole I mean, the hook that you see on the page right now is the hook that I came up with in the shower. I like hopped out of the shower, got on my phone, started like reading or like just dictating the flow of words that was coming to my head. And I sent it to Brad and Kevin, my partners, and they were like, well, let's roll with that. And so Brad talked to the patent holder. Kevin set up our website, and we decided that if we were to move 150 units in the first month, we were gonna pursue it more aggressively. And this started as a side of the desk business. This wasn't like something that we had like angel investing or like financial backing or venture capitalists or like anything. We just like, this is even to this day with over 100,000 active subscribers, we have taken $0 in financing, which is crazy. Yeah, I don't know how that worked out. We got some magicians running the finance, I guess. but yeah, that's so yeah, we're shooting for 150 customers in the first month, and we wound up with more than 1,500 subscribers in month 1.
So you times 10, X to 10.
Yeah, we've had over 250,000 direct to consumer customers now. And then I have no idea what's gone through Amazon, but we've got like almost 10,000 people subscribed on Amazon. We're the second biggest, I think, laundry detergent on Amazon Canada. It's just a wild ride, man.
With a little piece of fabric detergent. That's crazy. So tell me, so now you've sold 150 of them. I want to come back to the milestone because I think actually, before we keep going, there's a lesson here. So for everybody who's listening, entrepreneurs or CEOs, to set the milestones and say, hey, here's the target, right? If let's be reasonable, you've done the planning, you've done the research, you think, hey, if we hit 150, that's it. It's do or die. And too many people go, we hit 145, right? Let's do it again. Okay, well, hold on a second. Oh, we're short. We're like at 250 instead of 300. And then they just go down this path of senseless failure where you went, okay, let's fail fast. Sell 150 subscribers. We don't hit it. Yeah. And then you go, turn it on, 150 on the first day. And you're going, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was pretty much exactly, I probably said that. Like, I can remember being at the pool, watching my kids in swimming lessons, being like, what the fuck? And my wife's like, she doesn't even know what I'm like, my mind over. I'm like trying to sneak at my phone without being like,
being on the wrong dad. Like all the other dads looking at you. What's he doing? Is he?
Why aren't you paying attention to your kids? Oh, do you know how many sales we made today, man? Like, yeah.
I'm changing the world, man. I'm changing the world. But that's the feeling, right? We're giggling about it. But if that was the true intent, to start off with, because a lot of people, so just to let you know, it is biological. So when you have hot water running on your body, it actually slows down and you move into the creative phase. So a lot of people have great ideas just before falling asleep, just before waking up, or in the shower. And that's not including other things you can do in the shower, but that's biologically, that's why it happens. And it's important to write these great things down. But so let me pull back. You have a great idea. You want to change the world. You say, hey, listen, or an idea is presented. You want to change the world. And you say, hey, listen, I got an opportunity here. Let's see how it rolls. You got 150. I can just imagine the emotion going, hey, shit, this can happen. This can happen. So to all the other dads or parents that were there on the day that Ryan was at the pool looking at him going, look at a shitty parent he is. He's looking at his phone. Look at the impact. How many, so you've been in business for how long now, Truth?
I want to say, I think it's 20 or 21 months.
Okay. So you're not even talking like a mom here. How old is your kid? 21 months. What's that?
I was thinking how many months old my son is, because he's a month younger than Tru Earth.
Oh, so there you go. So he's going to be the Tru Earth spokesperson, right? Did you know that?
Yeah.
Roughly, how many containers of plastic have you saved so far from hitting the landfill? Let's be serious.
Yeah. So I don't have an updated number as of today, but we did a year in review at the end of the year, which would be a good time to do that. And I think we were about 2.6 million jugs of laundry detergent that we've eliminated from landfills. And if you were to stack those on top of each other, just because people like to be able to imagine things, you'd be able to stack laundry jugs from the ground to space, wherever, I think that's 60 something thousand feet. I can't remember the exact number, but wherever I looked it up, whatever the distance is to space, to where you leave the atmosphere, we would be able to stack, I think it was 6 times,
past the stratosphere.
Stacks. Yeah, to whatever that magical number is that I don't remember, but it's 6 times into space.
Wow.
And that's a couple, man. That's it's still not where we want to be, but I feel pretty good. And I don't want to say that it was me. The one thing that,
of course,
the one thing that we are so adamant about and that we really believe in is that our customers are the change makers, and we're just helping them choose tools that allow them to make small changes, and small changes add up to big impact. I read some quote the other day that was we don't need millions of people who are environmentally perfect. What we need is billions of people who are making an effort imperfectly, because people are expecting everybody to be pristine and perfect, and then judging people for not doing everything exactly right. And that's the worst way to do it. It's like giving your kid a football when they're 3 and having Peyton Manning huck him the ball like he's going to do a Hail Mary, not catching it, then Peyton Manning coming over and yelling at him and telling him he sucks at football. That kid's never going to want to play football because you just made him feel bad about it, right?
Exactly.
You got to celebrate the wins, lead by example. And in our particular case, since we want to make impact, we need to celebrate that our customer is the one leading this journey, this movement.
You facilitated it. So, hey, so when this is posted, I'll have the editors put little sparkles around. Little small changes make a big difference, because you want to talk about going into a business and telling this is what I need to change. I was like, okay, well, change how you show up at the meeting, change how you end your meeting. So instead of having an hour-long meeting, change it to 45 minutes. Not teaching you new things, just change the order so that you're more efficient at what you do. So small changes make big difference. And you facilitated that. Damn. Whoa, the stars.
Yeah. So, it's humbling though, man. It is humbling. I'm not going to ramble on again here, but like,
no, go ahead. You ramble all you want.
It's weird because of the rate that we've grown. It's really difficult to celebrate kind of like the success because there, as you know, as you grow at this clip, the systems break so frequently, and the demand for more staff to fill gaps is so quick that it's really hard to. And plus COVID, like it's not like we can go and have beers or crack a bottle of champagne or something, because nobody's together. And it's weird to sit back every once in a while and just like, sometimes I'll go to bed at night and I'll just be like, I'll realize that this is a real thing that's happening. And like to like kind of get a little, I'm not like a super emotional person, but like to like kind of, I get a little bit emotional. I don't even know how to say the word on that.
It is Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I need a beer. But like, I'll lay there and like, I'll just kind of try to relish in it a little bit and just kind of appreciate and be grateful for what we've done so far. But like, I at the same time, there's a long way to go and we're just getting started. But like, it's my point was that, when you grow this fast, it's tough to enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about having an impact. When COVID first started, I was having a hard time. I lost a few clients here and there, and you go, oh, well, okay, this is getting serious. And all of a sudden you're grateful that you have work because there's a whole bunch of people who don't have work. And then all of a sudden I did a kind of a look back, and I realized that I took 4 days off, including Christmas and New Year's in the whole year. I'm like, whoa, hold on. That's not cool.
You're a slacker, man.
I'm like, damn, that is not cool. That is not cool. And it's explosive growth is very dangerous. And so I want to come back to your partnership because of that. So when you've got an explosive growth company, like a partnership is a marriage. So how are you dealing with that? How are you dealing? Like, I mean, I know the values that you're instilling and the purpose is really good. How is that on your relationship with your partner?
My wife or the business partner?
The business partner, the wife. Hey, if you know your place in life as a husband, you always have the last word in the relationship. Yes, dear.
Yes, dear. No. But honestly, I mean, before I jump into the partnership stuff, I would say that my wife is the most involved in this business than she's been in any other business that I've ever had in my life. And she actually helps out with some things now. She answers like some of the Facebook ads and stuff like that. But it is really cool to see like her get excited about what we're doing, and it's not just like me doing my thing and then I come. That's fantastic. But in terms of the business partnership, I'm very spoiled on both fronts. I have two partners. They're my main partners, Kevin and Brad. And first of all, Kevin and I have known each other since we were 5 in kindergarten. And,
holy shit. 5. Yeah, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's been a minute. He turned 40, a couple of minutes. He turned 40 yesterday, actually. And
happy birthday.
Yeah. I turned 40 in a few months, so we get to celebrate COVID style by ourselves. So we've known each other since we were like 5, and it's weird because we probably have like we were best men in each other's weddings.
Oh wow.
And we just like, if we ever get in an argument about something, it's like the next day it's just reset. Like there's no we might it's weird. It's like we're brothers pretty much. So that's really great. And then Brad, who's the CEO. I think the thing that allows us to work so well together is the fact that we all stay in our own lanes and we communicate. We communicate frequently about the challenges that each of us face, and we use some form of entrepreneurial operating system, which helps. Clearly, you're a fan of that since you're talking about integrators.
So which one is it? Let's give a shout out.
We kind of use like a blend of like traction and scaling up. It's kind of,
like everybody else, like which
yeah.
one, traction or scaling up? And people go, a little bit of both. I like the
Yeah.
L10 format, but I don't like this, right? I like this,
Yeah,
but I don't
yeah.
like that. So
We use a level 10 format. It's funny because when I read this, I'm totally changing gears here, but when I
sorry.
read scaling up, I was like, why am I reading this? This is just traction. But anyway, so back to the original question. And like, but we're just really we're exceptional at staying in our own lanes, and we like we make clear boundaries on what each person does and what each person doesn't do, and
Oh,
like it's I would say that every misunderstanding in a relationship comes from either like poor communication. Just straight up, it just comes from poor communication. If one person has expectations that are different than what the other person is expecting to deliver, there is going to be some form of disappointment on one end of that relationship. So the only way to prevent those disappointments uh, is to clearly communicate exactly what it is you're going to do and deliver. And you know, we've just over the years we've just created very clear boundaries for what we do and what we don't do. And when we pass the job on to the person who's responsible, and I don't know, we have a very good relationship. We don't
functional
fight.
Accountability, right? Here's your function. You stay in your sandbox, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. We get judged on our actions, not our intentions, and that's what a lot of people have a hard time. Right? When I was traveling a lot with all my consultants around the world, I'd come home. I'd get home on Friday, and my first thing was, okay, let me close out all my emails, everything that I have to close out, all my invoices, all of the expenses, so that I can have my full attention to my wife and kids. Right now, I come home, kiss my wife, make myself an espresso. I go right in my office. What is my wife saying? What is she thinking? Right? She's saying, look at the asshole. He's been away all week. I've been with the kids all week. He's going straight to his office. So am I being judged on my intentions? Because my intentions were good. Hey, close this out so that you're not thinking about anything else. But the actions, so the assumptions is what kills. And that's a lot of people don't realize that. Oh, you're assuming. Well, stop assuming and ask. Hey, Ryan, what are you doing? Okay, let's clarify. Because that clarifying communication is what goes, okay, that's what you were thinking. That's what I was thinking. Okay, let's move on. And two little people go, look at that asshole. Well, let me send him an email. And then no intentions. There's no context. There's nothing. So the email kills absolutely the relationship. So I'm happy to hear that do you guys all work in the same place, or do you guys like touching distance? Like, I mean, not touching distance because it's COVID, but like, are you in close proximity, or are you all working from home?
Well, Kevin works from home a couple days a week. Brad, like now that we have this office, Brad's usually here. I'm here like every day, just because that's how I function the best. But yeah. So like, you know, there's a lot of conversations on Zoom.
Okay.
But you know, like even just tied to what you were saying, like going into your office and your wife making assumptions. Her assumption when you make that action is going to be that you don't care about her or something else
exactly
is more important. And you know, my old natural defense mechanism would be, well, you're stupid for making that assumption. And like, instead of pointing the finger at the person making the assumption about your behavior, is like, what can I do? Like without saying that you need to change the way that you look at how I'm dealing with things or like how I'm delivering things. What can I do to set up the situation so that that isn't a possibility for them to make that assumption? How can I behave? What actions can I do? What can I say to make that person because at the end of the day, that's on you. Like you were gone away, whatever. I mean, it's obviously an asshole thing to go lock yourself up the second you get home. But like, if you were to walk in the door and say, like, give your wife a kiss and be like, listen, sweetie, I have to deal with this one quick email. I really want to hear about things when I was gone, and I want to see the kids. I just need to get this one thing off my plate, and then you have all of my attention. And then there's absolutely no reason for her to be pissed off.
Exactly. And clarifying intentions and actions. Absolutely. Look at it. You're earning a whole bunch of stickers, right? Who said you weren't an integrator?
Word to self. I need to apply this to my own life.
So let's put the meat back in the middle, having impact. Okay. So now you guys are dealing with this. You're hiring a gajillion people, right? So for those who are listening, the circuit is really close, right? So Ryan Tru Earth has got somebody who's working, I believe, in the finance department, Cheryl or something like that.
Cheryl's a director of finance.
Director of finance. So my wife, Tracy, and I are sitting on the couch. We're just kind of chit-chatting. I'm looking at my week. And then Tracy goes, oh, I got a text from Cheryl. She wants me to help this Tru Earth. I was like, the company that you ordered stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm talking to Ryan on Friday. So it's just... You guys are exploding in growth. What does it take to leverage people? I'm assuming when you have good values and you have a just cause, are people lining up to work for you, or are you struggling to get people?
We haven't had any problem getting people, actually. Like, I just hired a director of marketing 3 weeks ago who was formerly at Johnson & Johnson, and he had a fantastic opportunity, and he decided to come here. We've just got a COO and a director of sales, both same thing, from big brands in the beginning of December. And I have people reaching out, even asking me, for what's available pretty regularly, actually. And I think one thing that we have done is we've fostered an amazing culture. Like Cheryl's a prime example. We had somebody else that was doing finances before, and when Cheryl came in, it was like, oh my God, I didn't even know that there was finance people that were this awesome, right? And like
to all the CPAs, you guys are geeks. No, I'm just teasing.
not insulting anybody else.
Yeah, I know, I'm with you.
But like, it's funny the difference that it makes when you hire a good culture fit. And my friend Matt, who owns Pila Case, before, when I was starting to hire people, and I'm going to be the first person to say that hiring is not my strong point. I'm very intuitive with people, but he gave me this big long list of like interview questions and stuff like that, and what their interview process looked like. I'm like, man, these guys sure ask a lot of questions about like the environment and all this stuff, right? Like, and until Cheryl came along, I never realized how important that having like employee buy-in and having like, I don't want to say like more like right butt in the right seat traction stuff, but like it is like the difference that it makes is so significant, because that like energy and enthusiasm, like it carries to other staff. And when everybody is all believes in something, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of the magic that comes out of that energy. Like it's
people underestimate the power of morale. Here's another lesson. Morale is the undefined tipping weight. So what is morale? Morale is the desire to accomplish a task by yourself or with others. Is the velocity at which people push themselves. So when you hire for culture with attitude first, then skill, then knowledge, people will always give you an extra 10% off the bat. They like your just cause. Like, I ask what people to, what's your just cause? Make money. Like, shut up. Like, what is your just cause? It's okay. You have a purpose and you have a just cause. Like, vision, mission statements are dead. What is it that you want to do? And even if it is a simple just cause, it is still important, because you're going to create your culture from that. Mm-hmm. Right. So I was asking a tech company, he's like, I'm into games. Okay. So what do you want to do? Well, I'm very entrepreneur. I want people to be happy and understand that you can do whatever you want to do and feel free. Okay, well, that's good. You want to share that feeling with others. You don't have to say, well, I'm just in gaming and I just make games. Okay, sure, that's your purpose, but you have to have a just cause. So I fully agree. If you hire for attitude, right? You use morale. And then the more morale you have, the more endorphins, the more, oxytocin, you get into biology. And then all of a sudden, everybody's got the feel good hormones and you're going at light speed and everybody's rowing at the same pace. And that, I'm sure, is what you're feeling is with Cheryl and others, right?
Yeah, totally. And that, that's one component that I found to be amazing for hiring. And the other thing that I think a lot of people do is, especially when they're trying to pass off, like as a CEO or a CMO or a C-level exec, whatever it is, or even a manager, when you're trying to elevate and delegate, a lot of times, like, this is even how I used to think, is that I was like, I want to find somebody that does what I do. I want to find somebody that's the same as me. I want to find somebody that's got that same drive to like try to figure everything out all the time. And I was looking at the problem wrong. Like I was looking at it like you don't need to find somebody that matches your skill set. You need to find somebody that complements your skill set. Correct. It's like about like Kyle. I just hired Kyle, started 3 weeks ago as director of marketing. And initially I was going to go back into the same pattern of trying to find somebody that's like me. And instead, what we did is like, I use Colby score a lot. I really like it. I haven't actually done a Colby on him, but like I try to hire people that that kind of polarize me in like their follow through, their integrator, like their ability to do the things that I'm not good at. So instead of, it's almost like we were talking about this yesterday. Like we've built this building and like the outside of the building looks really, really nice. But like if you have an engineer come in, they may be like, well, that's a code error. Like, you're probably, we might have to kick you out of this house until we have somebody come and fix the foundation. And like, so for me, it's really helped to be able to find people that excel at, foundation building or like some of the structural sides of things that, that A, I don't enjoy doing, and B, I suck at, and I can acknowledge that I suck at it, right? Like it's okay to suck at things,
That's right.
Like you can't be good at everything. And even if you were good at everything, like, if you were like middle of the row at everything, you fucking suck at everything. You don't have anything that you're good at. Like you're just you're like, who wants to be with like average Joe person, doesn't have anything fun to say. There's no polarized interest on anything. It's just like, if every person has like a score of like 1 to 10 on like 4 things, you want some people that are like closer to the 10s on certain things, and then closer
peaks and valleys. Peaks and valleys, balance.
And you can be over here, they can be over here, and like combined your 10s across the board.
I agree. You said another thing that's important is having testing. So the one thing that is common is what values holds the company together, right? So that's at the heart of everything. And a lot of people are confusing why with how. They go, well, that's our why. Our why is this. No. The values are based in how you operate on a daily basis. And that is what a lot of people forget. And you said small things make big changes, to come back to, right? My wife does laundry with Tru Earth. That's a small thing that will associate with somebody else who says, hey, oh, wow, you're just a hippie. Okay, so then there's not going to be any association with anything else because the value is demonstrated right there and then. Yeah. So you don't have to go deep to find out what somebody's values are to be able to do the rest, right? So a lot of people hire the opposite. They go, we want knowledge and experience. So we want 20 years plus of this. They start wrong. And that's a component of it, but see if they fit with the team first. And then after that, you can dig a little bit deeper and go, hey, listen, you're a great fit. And then all of a sudden you go, hey, well, hold on a second. This kid's a great learner. I'm sure that if I throw anything at this kid, that person will learn it. So you know what, kid? Come on, let me give you a shot. And then that could be the next CEO. You don't know. So, hey, I want to talk about D2C. All right. So, COVID.
Dogs to cats.
Meow.
That's what we're talking about. D2C, dogs to
That's
cats.
right. That's right.
Okay.
So, I mean, another Alpha Foods, another client of mine, right? So we just launched it and they're on Amazon and all that good stuff. So now, like, I mean, so I back in November, I was like, hey, we're not going to Mexico. Quick story. I want to buy a swim spa. Again, okay, I'm going to take Mexico to Port Coquitlam. That's where I live. Look it up on the map. Tiny little place. So I was like, I got a great idea. I'm going to take my Mexico money and I'm going to go to. And so we walk in. I'm so excited. And I was like, hey, I want that one. That's a 17-foot one. I want to spin that one. She goes, yeah, absolutely. Great. You'll get it in June 2021. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, you're like client number gajillion. You're not the only one with the smart idea, Martin. So like the demand on online consumption and subscription is just, especially with COVID, just like boom. So tell us, what's your success story? Because you've done this before, subscription-based entrepreneur. Yeah, you've put an impact onto it. So what's the secret? What's the secret sauce?
Like from what perspective? Like to make the sales
to anything. When so people got a shop or they've got a product. What are the strengths and challenges of Tru Earth in D2C and fulfillment?
Yeah, I would say that if I was just take a step back here and just look at like e-commerce and like just retail as a whole now versus say even like 10 years ago, is that like almost everything's been commodified.
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
Or turned into a commodity or whatever. And excuse me. What's wound up happening is, sure, people can compete on price by knocking things off and getting things made overseas and cutting corners and this, that, and the other thing. But the one thing that a lot of people can't do is they, they or one thing they could focus on in order to stand out from, these lesser quote unquote brands is storytelling, brand building, just like, what does your brand stand for? What are you fighting for? What kind of impact can you have? And like, how does being a customer of your brand impact my personal identity? Because at the end of the day, people don't buy things for what they do. They buy things for how they perceive their life is going to be after using that product.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Like if I buy a set of hiking boots and I want to start hiking around here, chances are I'm buying these hiking boots. Well, either I'm getting injured and I'm already a hiker and I'm getting calluses and road rash on my feet or whatever, and it's driving me crazy. Or the other segment of that market is like, as soon as I buy hiking boots, I'm going to be a hiker. And then like, I'm going to have the hiking boots. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to start hiking every weekend. My life's going to be so much different. I'm going to be in better shape. I'm going to be more attractive to my spouse. They're going to want to give me more kisses. And then they're going to be interested in doing it. We're going to spend more time together. Like, this is the narrative that plays out in people's heads when they consider buying a product. They don't buy the product because they're like, my laundry detergent is going to be, my clothes are going to be cleaner. Maybe like they're going to think, okay, well, laundry is going to be a bit easier now that I just have to throw this strip in there. I'm not going to have those messy cupboards anymore, that blue gunk everywhere. Oh, and I'm going to have all this extra free space in my cupboard. I'm going to be able to, I don't know, stash my treats so that my kids don't know that they're there, or like, there's all these things that are going to happen. And then on top of that, I can feel good knowing that I'm not creating more negative impact on this world, and that my kids are going to have a happier place. So I'm getting an easier way to do laundry. I'm winning back cupboard space. I'm using something that isn't full of harmful chemicals, and I'm helping change the world. Like, that's what I'm buying. I'm also donating laundry detergent to people that are in need of. So I'm becoming a philanthropist by participating in this company. So this is what is making like I'm not buying laundry detergent. I'm not making what's it called? Impulse buy to buy something that seems like it's something cool. And if I am doing that, then in 2 days I'm not going to have buyer's remorse because I just wasted money on laundry detergent. I would be having buyer's remorse on all these things. Like I'm not going to feel bad about buying something that's donating to people. I'm not going to feel bad about buying something that's changing the world. Like I can feel good about the benefits that I'm going to experience because the output on everybody else and the impact that they're going to experience isn't just for me. That was a really long-winded way of saying story is important.
Oh my God. So there's a gajillion lessons. I usually say, hey, lesson 1, lesson 2, like just listening to Ryan. I don't want to interrupt him because there's so many lessons that he's applying to that really puts, building a company that has impact in the middle of this conversation. But I said, but damn it.
Damn it.
I tell my kids all the time, 3 words that you're not allowed to use in the Hunter household: try, but, and can't. Try sets you up for failure, right? Can't, you choose not to. It's just because you can't, because you're not working hard enough. You can't. And then, but I love you, but I don't like your tortillas. So the tortillas are more important than the love. So when you go to the website, storytelling is so powerful internally and externally. And they have to run with a just cause and an impact, no matter how little the impact is. If it's making life better for the employees that you have and their families, if you're feeding the people simple little things, that you're building a game that will entertain people on the right values, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So that's key. So telling your story as a perfect marketer. So all the people who are listening, there's a lot of marketing. How is a consumer consuming? What I think the most powerful thing that you said is the storytelling that they tell themselves going forward. If I buy these hiking boots, what's the story I'm going to tell further on? Right. So that's
they are the hero. The customer, just the one thing that a lot of people get wrong in storytelling is that they make the brand the hero. The brand is not the hero. If this was Star Wars, the brand would be Yoda. It's the guide. Dan, that's
good.
Oh, yeah. Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. If you want to learn story structure, or if you want to really hack it, go read.
Say that again. Hero's Journey.
Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell.
Okay.
But like if from an actual implementable way to do story in your business, read Donald Miller's Story Brand. The book even gives you like Mad Lib fill in the blank.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you can look up the Donald, like on his website, it's free. I probably sold more Donald Miller products than I have laundry detergent. But like your brand, you want the customer to be the hero. And you're kind of like, sorry, the people in the story, maybe I'm messing this up, but I think like me in the story, I would probably be Yoda, and then Tru Earth, like Yoda says, use the what is it called? The force. The force is like the tool. So the tool is the thing that gets the hero over whatever the obstacle is. So
correct.
So the laundry detergent strip would be like the tool. Our side of our part of the story would be being Yoda, and the customer is trying to help save the planet.
Luke Skywalker. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what has been the halo effect on this? So have you had demands for other products? Have you had a halo effect into say, okay, well, hey, hold on. You've done such a great job. I'm sure you're capturing the attention of people who do Tide and others, things like that. And then you're like, oh, here's these new kids on the block. These guys are coming up hot and heavy. So there's actually 2 questions there. One, have you had halo effect? And let's ask that question first.
Start there. Yeah, I mean, the amount of interest that we have in investors is absolutely insane. And in terms of like additional products and like vertical
integration,
vertical integration. Yeah, like we recently launched a multi-surface cleaner. What day is this is this airing? Is this airing today or?
No. Probably a week from now. So
okay, cool. So on Monday, which is going to be in the past when you hear this, on the 25th, we're launching a disinfecting multi-surface cleaner, which you basically put a strip in a bottle and add hot water, and you've got like potent bacteria, fungus, and virus killing disinfecting cleaner, and it's approved by Health Canada. We've got our DIN number, like the whole 9 yards. So that's the next one. There's more stuff kind of in
you
the
have
pipeline.
you have to send some for Tracy first.
Yeah, I'll send you some for sure. But yeah, like so there.
Okay, so there's a halo.
Yeah, there's definitely like, I mean, but at the end of the day, for D2C, that's pretty much par for the course. Like you if you're D2C and you just plan on being like one product,
nothing wrong with that.
No,
right?
There's nothing wrong with that, provided I mean, it just really depends on how you're going about it. If you're doing any sort of direct response or media buying or any activity that's scalable, I would say that most businesses make majority of their money after a customer, like on the back end purchases, which are things that happen, not the first purchase, right? Obviously there's lots of businesses that just sell one time, but the businesses that really succeed are the businesses that not just sell one product, but they ascend their customers to other options and work on that lifetime value. And it's really true in the consumables, especially when you have like a $15, $20 product. So
subscription is the way to go, man. Subscription is the way to go. There's no,
that does help.
My coffee's on subscription. What else? My protein's on subscriptions. Tracy's, you're on my subscription list. You're part of my budget. So now you're coming in hot. You've got a halo effect. You've got a new thing coming out on January 25th, which is a sanitizer, which is on the same format. Just drop it in any bucket, mix it with a certain amount of money, a certain amount of water, and then push. You got yourself a kick-ass disinfectant cleaner, multi-purpose cleaner.
Yeah.
Is your ear on the track? Are you listening? Are you hearing any trains coming in regards to big detergent players?
There's been a couple that started the process and tried to crack into it. But where we have an advantage, obviously the fact that we're agile, but like this product existed briefly before we entered the space, and they never had success in getting penetration, primarily because they went straight to retail. And it's difficult to go straight to retail on a new product category because you have to educate people. And like this on this, like this, even our package doesn't have the product, doesn't show like the hand on the front, right? So like if you just see this in the laundry detergent aisle, like if you think about the common behavior when you go to buy laundry detergent, you walk down the aisle. If you don't like scents, you plug your nose. If you're a guy, you probably buy the one that's the cheapest, or $7. You grab it, you huck it in the bin, you get the heck out of the aisle so you don't have to sniff it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not like going in and be like, well, I wonder what types of new innovation there's been recently in laundry detergent. Let's just see here. Oh, there's these packs. Oh, this one has stain removing power. Perfect. I'm gonna be the champion of laundry detergent in my house, and my lady's gonna, it's not like, that's not how people buy laundry detergent, right? Like they go to the aisle, they grab the one.
Oh my goodness.
So for another, if a big player was to come in right now, they would probably benefit from the volume of advertising that we've done. We are 100% the category leader at the present time. And like, I can tell you that without a doubt by looking at brand registry on Amazon, that there are more searches for our brand name than there is for the category itself. Like,
dude,
like there is more searches for Tru Earth laundry strips or Tru Earth eco strips than there are for eco strips or laundry strips. We are searched more than Cheerios.
What?
Yeah. So, anyways, I guess my point is that even like there's already knockoffs that are out that are trying to get into this space. And as much as I personally dislike the fact that that's happening, and I see a lot of like very clear copying of what we've put together, and like basically, you know, I don't know. I'm trying not to think of something vulgar to say, but like, you know, even though that's happening, the upside to that is that every ad that these other companies put out, when somebody goes and searches for this category, it's all us. Like it's everywhere that you look, it's us. So at the end of the day, they're helping us build this brand category, which when people think laundry detergent strips, eco strips, whatever it is, their first thought, it's like Kleenex, right? We're trying to be the Kleenex of laundry strips. And my wife keeps always brings that up. She's like, oh, what if like Tide or like Procter & Gamble or whatever comes, you know, it's fine. I am so confident in what we're doing and what our marketing team is capable of and how quickly we can move that. If they come to the market, I think it can only benefit us. And like when they go and advertise, you know, we're going to be there.
It's not a matter of if, it's when, right?
And yeah. And sorry, I don't want to cut you off. One last thing is that, you know, when you get upset about, or when I get upset about these things, I have to look at it as well from, okay, what did we actually set out here to do? We set out to reduce plastic. And my ego might be upset that other people here are coming and doing the same thing. But at the end of the day, the impact that we set out to create, if I can get Tide to stop packaging their product in plastic, that means that the impact on the future of this planet that was directly affected by what we did was significantly larger than whatever financial benefits that were to eventually come our way. So,
wow, full circle. Yeah. That I wanted to ask you another question, but man, this is like that's like, okay, we started there, we went this way, and then he's like, just one more thing, let me smooth that out right there. He's like, okay, well, we're gonna have to do another one because there's like a gajillion more questions. I don't want to take away. Did you notice how Ryan doesn't care about competition? Doesn't. If you're true to what you're set out to do and you do what you said you're going to do, then feel comfortable in the mission and the impact that you're creating, regardless of how little it is. Like, you never thought it was going to be this huge. Never, ever. Not in 1,000 years.
Nope.
And now you're like, oh, I'm not different. I'm the same Ryan. Haven't been at the gym for 9 months, but maybe a little bit more plump, but definitely more tired. And you go, okay, let's just stick to what we've got. And I think purpose and agility, right? And you say agility, but I mean, I talk about agility all the time, but agility comes from tradition. It comes from doing things right. Means from, just because we did it yesterday doesn't mean that we have to do it tomorrow. But the values stays. And that's what I mean by tradition. You can change what you do. You don't change how you do it because the values stay the same. So taking care of your family. You know, there's a sergeant in the Army. When I was in the Army, he says, you know, when you get out, young man, you have to remember 3 rules in life. 3 things that you have to take care of. First, your health. Okay, you got that. Number 2, your family. I'm like, okay, that's pretty common. And he says, number 3, every fucking thing else. It sounded like, yeah, at first you giggle, but when you think about it, you go, shit, right? If I'm healthy, mentally, physically, I'm going to be the best individual I can be. If I live every single day the best way I can, and then I take care of my family. I mean, family is extended, right? Take care of people you love and appreciate. And then who cares whatever the world throws at you, right? So no, Ryan, I mean, you finished it off. So you gave a lot. So what's the one piece about building a company that has impact? Doesn't have to be a book. Doesn't have to be, what's the one thing that people go, hey, listen, this was really powerful. What does Ryan think? Is there a book? Is there a podcast? Is there something that really helped you when you were thinking about this idea, or?
You know, I'm not a huge Seth Godin fan. However, during like when we were launching this, I was listening to his book called This Is Marketing. This is Marketing. It's about a year and a half ago, and a lot of the ideas are really curated from like, and he even says that in the book that a lot of it's curated, but like it, I've never I don't think I've mentioned this book for a while, but from just like really understanding like identity and what creates those gaps that cause people to take action.
Mm-hmm.
I actually kind of want to read that book again now that I'm bringing it up, but um I think that it had more impact on this business than I really give credit for. Like, I feel like whenever I'm reading a book, it kind of like impacts my life at the time because I relate everything to it.
Mm-hmm.
As like, you know, when you're reading it, you're just like, I like layer whatever they're talking about into
Mm-hmm.
how it could be used in my life. But um, that book, when I was reading it, it changed my perspective on a few things. And um, I would definitely recommend. I would definitely recommend reading that. And one of their book, you know, this is less of a wholesome book, but it's Ready Fire Aim by Michael Masterson, Mark Masterson. I forget what his
Research
no,
team will look it up.
Michael Masterson. Michael Masterson. His real name is Mark Ford. It's a pen name, but he's made like $1,200 million businesses and just like structuring. A lot of it's about direct response and talking about selling like digital products and stuff like that. But like there's some really cool frameworks on structuring and like how to look at business, how to look at like front end products versus back end products,
Mm-hmm.
like what products are designed to increase your customer lifetime value, which products are designed to kind of like bring in new customers, you know, a whole bunch of stuff like that. I really enjoyed that. And I know I've mentioned Donald Miller's story brand
Mm-hmm.
in here a little bit, which is a great foundation for anybody that's looking to add that element to their brand.
Okay. Last question. I always say leaders or learners. What are you learning now? What are you looking to learn? What are you learning currently or looking to learn? Could be anything.
Yeah, you know, I'm looking to be a better leader. But I've been like my entire adult life, I've been like this perpetual knowledge grabber, book reader, like never fiction, ever. And this this year, one of my goals was to not necessarily tied to reading fiction, but I've been like listening and reading. I started reading fiction like 2 months ago, and I'm on like my third or fourth book. And it's allowed me a little bit of disconnect space in my
Mm-hmm.
head. Like I'll go for a walk at night. I like to listen to books. So I don't know if that counts as reading, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'll take my son, my youngest son, put him in the stroller. He'll fall asleep, and I'll go for a walk and I'll listen to something. And I've been really buying into fiction a lot more. And I think um, it's interesting because it's almost like a form of mindfulness or something
Mm.
because it's disconnecting my brain from the constant noise that I'm always thinking of. So, I mean, for me, my business or my things that I'm trying to do this year are less about how do I become better at business things. Like I'm just trying to deal with whatever the current problem is and address that, which has been effective too. But to try to bring I'm not saying that you want to be balanced in everything in your life, but the things that I choose that I want to excel at, like being eating healthier,
Mm-hmm.
getting my exercise in, stuff like that. That I'm being intentional about that and intentional with like being present with my family. So I don't care. I want to be imbalanced on the things that I'm good at or excel at, and I just want to suck at everything. I just want to do those things well, and that's my intentions for this year is to be more intentional on the
Good.
things that I want.
Take care of your health, your family, and every fucking thing else after that.
Yeah. I'll find somebody else to do everything else. I'm gonna be here for these three things. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Where can we find Tru Earth?
At www.tru.earth. There's no .com. It's .earth. And there's no E on Tru. So tru.earth.
Okay, cool. And then same thing, they can find it on Amazon, on.
Yep. You can find it on Amazon or direct to consumer on our site. If you Google us, you're going to see us on, there's a lot of people that sell it. We're in some retail, but yeah, direct to consumer is probably the best deal.
Thank you very much, Ryan, for being on the show. Delightful to hear the story about how to build a company and that has impact. Amazing stories. I think we'll have to do this again because I got like half of my page has not been ticked off because I had, what about this? Oh, that's a great idea. What about that? I mean, like we can go on forever, but we got dinner to make. There's kids to do. Like there's other stuff to do. So, Ryan, thank you very much for being on the show. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me, man. Anytime. I'd love to come back if you want to do follow-ups. I'm always here.
Thank you very much. I'm Martin Hunter. I am the host of What CEOs Talk About. Thank you very much for listening. And I will not forget this time because I always forget to say, please subscribe. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Do it.
Do it.
Subscribe. Click it. Do it.
Thanks for tuning in to What CEOs Talk About. Make sure to click subscribe to get notified about future episodes or check us out at www.whatceostalkabout.com.